In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the easiest content that you can create. Okay, this is the easiest type of content you can create. And the easiest content you can create is teach. Teach what you learned. So, if something you can do for this weekend is think back any things you learned throughout this week, right? The wins and the lessons, because you're either winning or you're learning. The lessons you learned this week, and then you write them down and teach that. Share that with people, right? Because it's the easiest content. Because the three types of content, you're inspire, educating, or entertaining. Inspirational posts, sometimes they're hard to create. Entertainment posts, not easy to create, but educating, teaching is really easy. You're all growing and people are following your journey. So whatever you're learning this week, share that. Whatever you learned, share that. That's the easiest type of social media content you can create. Now, here's the thing. The more you teach it, here's another benefit. The more, not only is the easiest content, the more you teach it, the better you get at it. Right? Teach it to your team. And also, another benefit is you actually start doing it because when you're teaching it, the person who's teaching you is kind of indirectly holding you accountable. Right? You're going to have this guilt. If you're teaching and not doing it because you're a leader, you don't want to be a hypocrite. If you're teaching it, you actually find yourself doing a lot more. So a lot of, even the things that I'm teaching in this group or teaching in my public Facebook Lives or talk about a podcast, I find myself doing all the things I teach because otherwise I wouldn't sleep well at night. I'll be like, I feel like I'm lying to people, right? So those are three benefits. The more type of content, teach what you've learned, right? Because not only is the easiest type of content, number two, you get better at it, the more you teach it, you get good at it. And by the way, that's one of the things I learned about recruiting, objection handling. I used to train on that all the time. And that's actually how I got pretty good at it. And the third thing is accountability is probably my favorite part. Just by doing it, we have a conscience. We feel guilty if you're teaching something we're not doing. And that'll actually make you do that thing that you're not doing. So if you talk about what type of content to teach, go find the things that you need to work on. Teach that. You hold yourself accountable, and the people will hold you accountable as well. So that's the lesson. Now, call to action here. Keep this lesson short and sweet. Is think about what did you learn this week? During this weekend, write down 5 things you learned. Now, every one of you have learned at least 5 things. At least 5 things. Now, if you haven't, then where have you been? Or you haven't, you're holding yourself you're too hard on yourself. 5 things, maybe 5 things about yourself. Maybe you're too hard on yourself. Maybe that's something you learned right now. Or you learn how to teach content you learn. Write down 5 things you learned and create 5 posts about it and share that out there. And, people always talk about people following you. They may not comment, they may not like it, but they're always watching you and they're following you along your journey. So do that this weekend. Go back to the week, recap, find 5 things that you learned, and then create a social media post for each one of those 5 things. Because remember, the easiest type of content to create is what you learned.